It continues to move towards the northwest now. And there's an infrared satellite, and you can see the eye starting to show up there around the higher cloud tops around Hurricane Harvey, and some of these thunderstorms are starting to get closer to the Texas coastline. As I mentioned, there's an 85-mile-per-hour winds moving towards the northwest at 10, and the pressure is falling a little bit more from the 4 o'clock advisory, and you can see also the location is now less than 300 miles from Corpus Christi, Texas. But it will intensify a little bit more. What's happening is the upper level winds have lightened up quite a bit. That upper level low that's been there for the past 3 or 4 days is gone, so there's no more wind shear out there. And we're also seeing the storm. It's going to move over a warmer part of the western Gulf of Mexico, so intensification is expected. So it could reach Category 3 status of maybe 120 miles per hour by 1 o'clock Saturday morning. Once it moves inland, it'll weaken to a 2, then to a tropical storm, and kind of sit there for Sunday and Monday, and then by Tuesday start to move towards the northeast, east-northeast towards Louisiana. You can see its location on Tuesday right about the Galveston Bay area. If it's offshore, it has a chance to intensify even more before it reaches the Louisiana coastline. So we're going to have to watch this scenario to see if it's offshore or inland as it moves towards us, because that will play a big part in its intensification if it's a stronger system or a weaker system. But either way, a big rainmaker for us is what's anticipated. So what can we expect, at least locally right now? Well, between this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we have a chance for some feeder bands to move on into our area. So Saturday and Sunday, we do have chances for showers and storms, maybe with some bands coming on through. Not a constant rain unless one band sets up right on top of the same area and keeps feeding through the same location. So some heavy rain is possible over the course of the weekend. 5 to 10 inches through Thursday is what's the number being used right now, but that can easily go up depending on what we see between now and Thursday. Now, along coastal areas, higher seas, higher tides, so we may see tides running maybe 1 to 4 feet above normal as we get towards early next week. So some coastal flooding is possible over the course of the weekend into next week. And then, of course, with any feeder bands, any thunderstorms that rotate in, there could be some water spouts or tornadoes. So we have to keep an eye on that with any tropical system that's along our coastline or making landfall or near us. So we'll have to keep an eye on those rain bands. So what's happening in the upper level winds? I'll give you a quick look at what's happening. 2 high pressure areas to the east and to the west. This system is being driven towards Texas by the high pressure area over Florida. So that keeps pushing it towards the Texas coastline. But it can't keep going west because there's another big high pressure area over parts of Mexico and the southwestern United States. So over the course of the weekend, Harvey is going to be stuck over Texas because it can't go in either direction because it's stuck between these 2 high pressure areas. Then on Monday, we're going to start to see an upper level trough dive down. And as it drives down, we think by Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to start to pick up Harvey and start to move it towards Texas. So that's what we're anticipating. The GFS and the global models all are indicating that that's the scenario right now, and that's what the Hurricane Center is also thinking about. So as long as those global models are in agreement with that, that is the scenario that could happen, at least at this point. So for right now, it is mostly a wait and see type situation as it moves inland, as it stalls, as it weakens, where it's going to weaken inland or off the coast, and then it's going to start moving our way. So we may see some heavy rain over the course of the weekend with some rain bands, but the big rain event may not come until the system moves towards us into the middle part and latter part of next week. That's your 7 o'clock advisory. We'll have the latest information coming up with the new advisory at 10 o'clock on Eyewitness News tonight at 10.